No.
Okay, well, when he's playing.
When he was healthy.
When he's playing and when he's healthy, where is he?
Verlander's probably top 5 pitchers in the league.
In the league?
I'd put him at 4. Like when he was healthy, when he was dealing. Like
you put Verlander in the playoffs, and he's hard to beat.
Yeah, playoffs do things to pitchers, man. Turns them into animals. Like that's why I want to see DeGrom and
Well, you look at like John Lester when he played.
Yeah.
For the Cubs and then the Red Sox, and he started his career in Boston, and he went to the playoffs, and he was always a good pitcher, but he was never like a top.
Yeah.
You go into the playoffs.
You go into playoffs. Yeah.
So playoffs is just a different picture for everybody.
Hmm.
It's like all them teams go in a completely different mindset. Like it's home runs and pitching good.
Now for like, where would DeGrom go?
Does he stay in the NL?
I'd love to see him come to AL.
I think it would be interesting to see how he does in the American League, just because of the DH.
Yeah,
he's not pitching to pitchers anymore, at least one time.
That's a good point. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, so I could see.
I'd like to see him come over to AL.
Honestly,
I don't think it'll happen.
If he were to slate to become a free agent and the Mets were not going to extend him and he wanted to go somewhere else to win, as much as it would pain me to say it, I would say the Yankees are going to probably be one of the top pursuers because they always have endless amounts of money.
And I feel like they could rope him in really easy.
Of course, but Boston might have.
They would effortlessly.
They have so much money, dude.
The Yankees have no problem spending money.
Yeah,
never have.
If they want something, they're gonna go for it.
Either that, Red Sox could be somebody because they're gonna have money by then.
I mean anything. That's what my top 2 picks were gonna be was Red Sox and the Yankees. I don't think he'd go anywhere else.
No,
like he's not gonna go to Toronto. He's not gonna go like down at like AL West or anything like to them. Like Oakland or Seattle or anything like that.
Houston.
Okay, I could see him in Houston potentially.
Do you think he'd go to the Astros? You really think he'd go to the Astros? Like, do players even want to go there?
I don't know. I mean,
like that's what I'm saying.
I wouldn't want to.
I mean, yeah, they have.
Well, okay, yeah. Currently, the team that's on it is playing, but like that's pretty much the same team that they had last season, right? Last season or 2.
For the most part, they've gotten new people though.
They've been stripped apart a little bit because Cole's now on the Yankees.
Yeah.
Keuchel's gone.
Okay, yeah, Keuchel's gone too. Who else?
Marwin Gonzalez from that championship team. He's on the Sox now.
You guys can you know that you guys can talk a little bit louder, right?
Yeah, no.
Thinking out loud. But yeah, they got a couple players that were taken off them, but for me, I think he'd go to the Red Sox, the Yankees.
Really, just like the 2 of the 5 biggest brands in baseball.
Yeah,
they got the money.
They got the money to do it.
Yankees got more money than the Sox, but by that time, because the Sox are trying to get young right now, and they're trying to do low buys, which is what their roster's really built off of right now. It's just young people and somebody that they're not going to fork out a ton of money for.
Yeah.
If he stays in NL, Dodgers.
No, I can see Padres. If the Padres and Dodgers go back and forth and continue to do that for the next couple of years,
I just think that the Dodgers would get him over the Padres.
Yeah, I don't think so.
You don't think so?
Because you got.
I think it would
Bauer
be between
Kershaw
one of
have
those.
huge contracts.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. I mean, like, they're how much money are they paying Clayton Kershaw? It's gotta be
that man.
it's gotta be on.
He's still good.
Parallel with.
Off a little bit.
He's getting old.
He's getting really old. Him in his prime. Woo. Couldn't touch him. Yeah, what's he got now? 93 million.
3 years.
Wow. 93 million for 3 years.
So
he's making some money.
He's making about
That's absolutely fucking ridiculous.
31 million each year.
That's absolutely ridiculous. Baseball players get paid so much fucking money, dude.
They don't. Baseball players don't deserve the money that they get paid.
Absolutely
I'm sorry, I love
not.
Baseball. It is.
I just think athletes in general, like. There's
baseball players make so much money.
Oh, I know, like Trout.
In American sports, at least.
Yeah.
But the other thing is baseball players have longer contracts.
Yeah, they do.
You don't see an NBA player going to get a 10-year contract.
Yeah, like you're signing with a franchise for that. Like
you don't. I haven't seen it. LeBron never got a 15-year contract.
No, yeah, you're right. I mean, Pat Mahomes got a 10-year one, but
he's young.
That's like the first one like ever. I'm pretty sure.
It's like the new trend.
It was something like that.
These days is to lock somebody down when they're young and they show promising signs.
Well, that's because quarterbacks in the NFL are like elite quarterbacks are at an all-time necessity. So like if there is a chance that you could get a guy who might potentially have a high ceiling, like you have to snatch on it, because if you drop him for somebody else and that guy's a complete bust, you immediately lose your job.
And it's always a pass up though, because like you got him for like 10 years or however long it is, and if they're not developing and progressing, like you're just out all that money.
Yeah.
But I think how many former number one picks for baseball don't make $300 million contracts?
Yeah.
So
how many of them honestly actually do?
Even make it to MLB, a lot of them don't.
Yeah.
There's a lot of first round picks that either make it to MLB and they bust.
Yeah, they're there for like a season and then they're done.
Because that's just how baseball's so. Even football. Football's the same way too. Like somebody can get overhyped.
Oh yeah.
Really quick.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
They just flop.
Kids can get overhyped in basketball too, but it's definitely like, I feel like basketball is a different sport where like it's way easier to see, because when you're like constantly moving back and forth like that against 5 other people, like it's easy to see which kids can really dominate.
Oh.
Like when he's forced up against another like pretty good talent of 5 other kids against him. You know what I mean? You can know which kids like can tear shit up on their own.
You can find the weakest link and you know which one's the strongest.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Baseball is just so like there's chance involved.
It really is. Like,
and so it's
and kids can blow up at any time in baseball. Honestly,
yeah, you get
anything can happen. Like,
yeah,
you can be in the slump for the longest time, and then you can also come up on top and lead leaderboards for each division. Like, it doesn't matter who you are.
No, it really doesn't, because you got to think about how many players come out of nowhere and have an amazing
That's
year.
what I'm saying, dude.
And then the next year they go back to sucking. Like,
it's the up.
I mean,
up
imagine how like, you know how many kids like from high school and college probably like get put like on national news, on some, maybe not like national news, but like on some level, like they get like a spotlight somewhere, and then that next month, even it's just completely gone. Yeah. You know what I mean? What were we talking about? I don't even
remember.
We were talking about the Grom's contract.
We got on a little tangent.
And then we started talking about other contracts of other sports.
Yeah, we were talking about DeGrom.
And where he would go, yeah.
DeGrom.
He's
if you really, like, we were talking about him winning MVP.
And Cy Young.
This year season.
Well, you never... It can always happen. He has the ability to do it.
I think the Mets are probably gonna suck again this year.
But I'm saying, you have the guy who could very, very potentially win the Cy Young and the MVP, and that team isn't going to make the playoffs.
Yeah,
straight up because of the Mets.
Yeah, you got Mike Trout.
The Angels,
I think they're second to last right now.
Yeah, but that division's close. But I think the Angels could make a run soon because they have talent now. But pitching,
like you look back in previous seasons, I mean, they were always like just bottom of the leaderboard, but you got Mike Trout up here putting up big numbers. Like,
no, their whole.
No, but that's because Mike Trout can practically alone carry this entire team.
In a way. But I think too with the Angels right now, this current Angels team, they have a lot of offensive promise, but the question marks are always going to be on their pitching staff.
Yeah.
Always, because the Angels have never had, for the past 10 years now, have not had a legit pitching staff that's competed day in and day out.
It never flowed. Like, they had never had any rhythm with it. Like, you can watch any games and they can pull people from the bullpen, and like their whole entire pitching staff is so unorthodox. Like,
they don't have big names on their pitching staff. They don't have big names. They big names anywhere that's going to be pitching wise for the Angels.
They need one or two solid guys to walk in there and like help build it a little bit better. Like start surrounding your top
money right now. To Trout, Otani, Pujols still.
Yeah, he's gonna be gone.
He'll be retiring soon.
He's got what, 3 years left, 5 years left, if that.
Probably like 2.
I was
thinking
2.
Yeah,
he's old.
He's been around for long. He's probably him and Miguel Cabrera are the oldest 2 players I think.
Yeah,
that played the longest in MLB.
That are still in the MLB right now.
Yeah, but they're giving so much money to this offensive team. Not putting money into the pitching rotation to win. Pitching wins baseball games, hands in.
I completely agree with that. Like you can crank out.
Your defense can be so solid, but if you don't have pitching,
you can crank out balls as often as you can, and you can have players scaling 10 to 12 foot brick walls and snagging home runs. But like, you got to be able to throw it.
Lose a lot of games, 11 to 10. Like
it always comes down to that in the end. Like pitching is so important. Like you really got to crack down that from the start because if you're not solid in that aspect, nothing else is going to go.
But I mean, today, home run numbers are up.
Oh yeah, in both leagues, just across the board.
So
as of recent too, right? Like,
yeah.
I mean, I'm sure it's always been trending up.
Yeah,
as,
in the past like 4 years, really, like the numbers have been insane.
Well, they're trying to make baseball more exciting, so they changed the baseballs a little bit too.
Oh, they did?
Yeah, they're like putting them in the humidifiers.
They're now more home runnable.
There's more like
they
resistance.
bounce off the bat a little bit better.
Yeah. Like the ball doesn't.
That's lame.
Yeah, the ball doesn't
that's
absorb as much impact anymore.
That's because you got to look at the crowd. Like, yeah, when COVID doesn't exist, baseball stadiums fill out for the most part.
On specific teams, I feel
specific teams, yeah. Not like how like NFL, you can suck and your crowd will still all be there. Baseball's very like loyalty based.
Mm-hmm.
If you're playing good, you're gonna get fans.
Mm-hmm.
Boston and New York.
You'll never
if
see
you
another
don't
stadium.
succeed there, those fans are going to be at every game, and they're going to let you know that you suck. Like Boston fans.
That's how it is with Eagles fans, dude.
Yeah,
like Eagles fans are the fucking worst. That's something we stand by on this show.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it will. They're second to Cowboys fans, like in terms of toxicity.
I say third is Steelers.
Third are the Steelers, and then 4 are the Patriots, and then 5 are the Browns.
Patriots, Andrew.
I'm alright with it. You know, I'm a humble Patriots fan. I know for a fact that a lot of other ones aren't. But
and it's probably not you, Andrew, but like you do still fall into the category of a Patriots fan.
Of course I do. Of course.
You know, I have friends that are Eagles fans, and I'm friends with them, so like it's not that big of a deal.
Yeah.
As a fan of the Washington football team, it's I can learn to like coexist with other franchises, but like you're still a Patriots fan, dude. Like I don't know what else. Like, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. I mean,
it's okay.
A lot of people hate what we don't have, what they don't have, which is 6 Super Bowls since 2000. So it's like,
yeah, I hate not being a complete arrogant douchebag.
Hey, you know what?
I hate it.
Yeah.
It's the worst.
They're rebuilding right now.
They are rebuilding. Well, no, actually, no, they're not rebuilding, dude. Belichick's still the head coach, and he's got a year. He's got a year to find out whether Cam Newton can still play or not, because he just got a shiny new quarterback in Mac Jones,
who's very, very similar to how people
Tom
looked at
Brady
when he first was drafted, which is the ideal scenario for New England.
Yeah, because as host Anthony Jeter has said constantly on the show before, Tom Brady is the greatest system quarterback of all time. Because he perfectly.
I like that.
He's the greatest quarterback of all time. He just won with the Bucks and led them to that Super Bowl. He's the greatest quarterback of all time. There's no other.
Bro, we literally just did this on the show the other day, and I don't want to get into it right now because I'm assuming that you guys still want to do baseball.
Of course.
But the argument is that when Tom Brady wins Super Bowls, right, he has or at least succeeds very well, like going undefeated, for instance, and then losing in the Super Bowl to Eli Manning. Sorry.